The party is not over yet, as the post-life of DonBros just keeps on living rent-free in my mind. And although it's been months since the series wrapped up, its story is far from over. Its timeline of events continue to be expanded on, and there's just so much to go over, and so little time. First up, however, was the summer film from last year, Hatsukoi Hero. Taking place halfway through the series, we join Haruka once again, getting all the center stage at the usual presser, this time for being Best Actress. So, how do we get here? Schoolgirl Sononi! There's no water in here. How in the hell am I supposed to do this? Tankauto! What? I mean, what is it? Can you go back in time and click Space Fies? This is kind of his thing, and I know the people are expecting. No can do, because the DonBros review timeline has been locked ever since you made the paradox loop with Gotcha being mid. Hashtag Zio was right. So this is all you. Well, I'll just go to the store. Ah, great. I'm filming this when all the stores are closed. Everything! Walmart's not even 24/7 anymore! Thanksgiving sucks. Okay. I'll just get this Sononi edging meter down here and go! Schoolgirl Sononi bumps into Schoolboy Sonoi, who points that she's got some white stuff on her film. Oh my god! But this turns out to be a setup that just ain't going the director's way. So, getting taken out the main cast, they still try to find a way to stay on set, adding Sonoza to the mix until random Hitotsuki attacks, and giving citizens the straight up sock when the DonBros appear, taking the fight to the dude, then Sonoza, but casting director shows on up, saying that they're perfect for the film that they need, and who needs extra heroes when Kamen Riders are out there? So what's the film called? Intellectual Property Theft. I mean, Shin Hatsukoi Hero, which is Haruka's manga with none of the credit. Because we're still in the plagiarism arc of the show, but Haruka's in and Taro is also in, even though he can't lie, but acting ain't lying. It's just pretending. See, there's a difference. Black Kaido ain't about true heroes taking all the glory, which he's one to talk because I saw that big ass nose that one episode, while Haruka and all her prep work took a shotgun to the face.
Close your eyes. Now you're ready for a night on the town.
So now we get the scene from earlier with just Haruka and Taro.
What the hell is even that?
The acting. The goddamn acting. But you think the director be hating, but it's just a hot mess that he was looking forward to. Meanwhile, and Sonoi are out being big mad about the casting choice, but they'll lead as support, with Haruka's character getting bullied and ambushed by hand-pound Sonoi! Oh, you were expecting someone else? Nah, I'm just here to enjoy the edge. Ain't that right, Love Cup? Luckily, Hero Taro shows on up to save the day, getting aggressively tickled, but in the process, undoing the seal to zombie Sonoza. Living out the dream of getting in on that Sononi throat, giving us Zombie Sononi! What the fuck? With zombies on the loose, Hero Taro becomes Hero Momotaro.
There it is!
Taking on the zombies, saving the girl, and the film's budget, it's now time to confess his feelings, and he's dead. Meanwhile, background makeup Sononi. For you. Listen, I don't even know who's doing all that right now, but you better chill. We got 2 more specials after this. Oh, where were we at again? Am I drunk? Now, when it comes to films, I don't really recap the whole thing, but needless to say, the shenanigans are top tier when it comes to this one. This is just a 30-minute ride that just does not hold a candle to anything else besides anything else DonBros. Even a year after it's come out, the impact still hits. Since the entire film was filmed during the show, the actors had already found their stride in the roles being given. The dynamic of Taro and Haruka were just peak hilarity, and this is when the Noto cast really started getting into the half-baked shenanigans full stop. The other bros even find ways to shoehorn themselves into the script. Even Tsubasa, who up to this point, they should have figured out who he was. But nah. This really continues the bit, or rather introduces us to the bit of her thinking that all the guys on the roster just want to be with her, even with Shinichi. Doing haikus. Haruka proving that the true love hero was actually the one-night stands along the way. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's why this movie's rating is the Sentai S+ Maximum Thirst Release the Inoue Cut, you cowards! Man, really watching this film made me truly miss DonBros. But coming off of that in production order would be the Zenkaiger crossover. But in reality comes the DonBoodies vs. DonBros special. Taking place before Sonoshi's recruitment of Sonogo and Sonoroku in the mid-40s of DonBros, we join Taro and his future terrible replacement Jiro checking out Sonoi's food stall. Which kinda, sorta shouldn't be a thing right now in the show, but fuck, it's DonBros. We ain't gotta explain shit. But Sonoi's got a new plate in town. So good that it interrupts folks going to first and second base and the lowlives who indulge in the spectacle. The foodgasm was so damn good that Taro decides that every dish will be DonBoodies. While that goes on, Sonoshi decides that he's got the perfect folly for Sonoi and his main man's team. Wait, that's not right. It's just Sonoi with a brown shirt. Taro educates everyone on the concept of DonBoodies. It's just a rice bowl with the side on top, giving the rice all the juices of that top layer and giving it that succulent. Hey, where's Haruka going? Getting smacked with that confession letter, she wonders just which one of the guys wants some of that. Yet again. Too bad though, because it's food sampling time until Brown Sonoi shows on up, despising the pairing and preferring everything a la carte, or in their own place, separating the plate and crashing stick to stick with Taro. That is, until Jiro shows up to prove that he is the basic bitch that he is. Enjoying the basic ass dishes separate, making him a la butler. So they decide that the teams are gonna face off with their ultimate dishes. So bros show up to a random kitchen while not Mr. Cart and his team show up to lend a hand. And meanwhile, No, you're not gonna prevent this. Help me, fellow Sononites!
Hey, come on! Avataro!
Yes!
Hold up! It's still November. Holy hell! DC's calendar, man! Hey, hold on. Copyright. I'm actually ED's time guy. E.B.? That's a little on the head for that one, or lack thereof. Oh, you wanna go MMA? Sure, I'll go MMA! Alright, where were we at? Let's go! Meanwhile, get out. Meanwhile, Sononi shakes the beans with no Frank. But that's when Tsubasa proceeds to insert himself into the shot. Tsuyoshi coming too? Nah, son. While Haruka draws manga? The hell that gotta do with DonBrothers? So after getting in that post-cooking clarity, Taro arrives with sea meat. which, you can see, it's a lot of meat, but it's also pretty damn tasty. But is it enough? No. So, they gotta go ask Black Kaito, who says that they Donbooty definitely be lacking something. Black Stacy? Oh, they lacking the sauce. Well, why don't you show them some of that sauce? Yes! I can explain. We're cutting that recap there because I've got lotion in my mouth, and it happens to be menthol flavor. But did you also know that this review actually has a sponsor? That's right, this review is brought to you by Coffee with a Side of Me, brought to you by Black Kaito. Nah, this is actually the Sentai photo book. Yes! The Donbooty special is top tier when it comes to the fact that it's ludicrous and absurd and completely on brand. Dynamic camera angles normally reserved for action fights to focus on food. That one cliffside field that usually is reserved for action fights also focused on food. Jiro fucking shit up. Black Kaito and Stacy fucking themselves up. The redone finisher with the Donbooties, the transformation pulled right from their ass. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. As such, this special gets the Sentai S Plus Maximum Thirst. I don't eat carbs, but I'd make an exception for that Donbooties edition. Oh my god, I got lotion back here too. You know what? You can take it from here, Zio. I don't fuck with Zenkaiger like this. Okay. Well, finally, we come to a close with the crossover event of Zenkaiger and DonBrothers. And I'll be quick to point out that I found Zenkaiger to be incredibly mid. I did not review it back in the early days of the channel because back then, folks pretty much told me that if I was going to be negative in a review, then don't review it. And now I'm like, why? You don't like a difference of opinion? Because for the Zenkaiger portion of this, it's more or less what you get from the show. Wacky antics and your weekly dose of mid. Mochi World is back, this time laced with more drugs, as folks can't seem to get enough of them. However, the king of crack himself, Zox, lets it be known that none are to deal his stash. Walter White only cooks for him.
You're goddamn right.
The Zenkaigers go on another world to find the ways to lace up the mochi with oddities and proceed to deal the goods, and Zox just ain't having any of it. Even bringing back the best, most wasted character in the series, Hakaiser. That even Kaito can't pop that one off. On the Donbro side of things, Jiro leads the team of Dragonfires against Minoru, while Waitaro makes a delivery that invites him to eat random food. Totally not suspicious at all. As he proceeds to eat... There's a hologram in there? And it's gone. And he took the food too? Well, it turns out that emotional tearjerk of an ending for Donbros was just temporary, as Taro regains his memories, going back to the cafe to find that Don Murasame's got a job. Speaking of jobs, Jiro's here looking smug as hell. The gifts Taro rejected from those he helped, Jiro just took in stride. Getting a McMansion out of that Mega Ranger Hitotsuki guy. Yeah. Jiro has become a dick, and everyone is smug after getting everything themselves. Haruka's manga deal got her totally smug with the fellas being all about her. Until Taro shows on up and makes that life a little bit melty. Shinichi's not doing haikus. See, he got himself a McMansion too, as he got bribed by Jiro. Tsuyoshi, on the other hand, got promotions, as now he's the boss, because Jiro bought out that company for him. Meanwhile, Bakery Sentai is out of stock, as Tsubasa just got bought out by Jiro and now has a bakery to show for it. But that food lacking, as these guys just caring about the Benjamins that they forgot so much about being bros. Which it seems like everyone's got something to say to Taro, so let's find out what it is. But on the real front of things, Minoru is back and sadder than ever with his mom on death's door. Maybe. He transforms into the... Oh, we don't get to see it yet. Here's Sonoe at the Odin stall that he now runs. But the inconsistency of the DonBrothers special implies that Taro already knew, but here he does not. But let's forget about it because we eating. But why is Sonoe even here? Well, turns out that he left the bros after fighting with Jiro about how the team should fight. So, what do the bros want to discuss?
I'm out.
That's right, they want out of the deal and just live their lives again. All this while Sonoe is living her best life. But that's when Minoru shows up, becoming the Zenkaiger Hitotsuki, summoning Don Momo, just to get the full force penetration and die. For real this time. Now, I would normally stop recapping right now, but after the funeral, it's Sonoe that slathers him up with his own juices, bringing him back to the party. The crossover of it all really just happens, with the confrontation of Black Kaito being that he's just Black Kaito. See, ain't gotta explain shit. But we finally do get Kaiser in the roll call, even if his changer is just these hands. This special served more so as an epilogue of the DonBro story and sets up the narrative going forward with the future King Oger crossover, especially now that it's Sonoe who will need all that reviving. Well, Minoru's mom was just asleep. Overall, this was as enjoyable as everything before it, and collectively rewatching all of these specials really makes me miss this show and this cast. The Zenkaiger portion gets the Bioman B. The DonBros portion gets the Sonoe S+. Wow, the crossover portion of the fight is just an Abba Ranger A. Really, the best part of the crossover portion of it was just them all roll calling over each other. With these DonBro specials, we have the new forms as the DonBrothers have made their debut. Jiro and Kaito get the Phoenix Drip, and Taro gets the Zenkaiger Fit. So with that, let's talk forms. You know, they're all just okay. Continuing the tradition that the Omikoshi Phoenix add-on looks better on everyone except Taro, Jiro sports it nicely with his color coordination, so I give it a solid B. Zenkaiser, on the other hand, also looks good with it, but the crimes against the suit is the fact that they gave him that ugly-ass peach head, so C. They really just took Zenkaiser's regular-ass chest plate and stuck it on Taro, just adding some tassels to the arms. You know, that shit's enough. Rating time recap. DonBros really was a show about nothing. Its content is solely character driven, so the attachment to these characters individually becomes the driving force for why it's either loved or hated by the fandom. These specials are more of that, so how you feel about the show will overall carry over to this. Really, the big takeaway is that Jiro is the worst goddamn character ever and the real villain of the story. Since his introduction, he's been the type to want to be Taro's replacement, but he's never humble about it once he gets his way. He really needs Taro to throw him off his high horse because this is the stuff that just happens. He brings the fame and the fortune to the group, but overall makes things just bland. And even then, it feels like it's never enough for him. Sonoza continues to be a surprise in how his character ended up turning out, as outside of being Haruka's biggest supporter, he ultimately seemed to hate the idea of the DonBrothers disbanding. Him, as well as Sonoe and Sonoe, really feel like they belong in the roster as pivotal parts of the DonBros. It's just a shame that we didn't get to see them be part of the roll call at the end. Danmura who? Now, can we take a moment to appreciate Stacy's return as true rival? Another thing that we will likely never get a proper answer to, but I hope we get more of in the future. Maybe throw in Zox in and call him True Third Wheel. Now that'll definitely rustle some jimmies. Now I don't know about y'all, but that unseed fight might exist in its purest, rawest form within the corners of Inoue's desk drawers. But for now, we'll have to fill in the blanks with our mind. and fanfiction. While the Don Buddy special was fun and played to the one-off joke done during the press conference, it still was vastly enjoyable just for the Don Bro shenanigans. But the crossover with Zenkaiger was the real meat and potatoes on the rice here, as it really just goes to show how enriched everyone's lives are just by having Taro in it. And while he had that short-term fit of amnesia, sure, they had everything that they wanted, but it's not really what they thought they wanted. It's much more of a humbling thought when it comes to it all. Like I said before, this season in particular just isn't about the villains. It's not about the overarching narrative. It really is just about the cast and crew. And that's why, when you've stuck with them through it all, it makes sense that narratively, the story can keep going as there really is no ending per se for the bros. I can see this cast really crossing over with just about any future and past Sentai. Though it would have been great if a Kiba Ranger would just come back, because I don't think the world will ever be the same after those two meet. All I can say is that the party never really ends with the Don Bros, as now the big thing is how do they resolve Sonoe's death in the future, as it could just be done as another one-off special, but in reality it's probably going to end up happening in that future King Ogre crossover. All I know is that I need Minoru and Hat Guy in a scene together, bare minimum. Taro trying Deboski's food. Actually, no, give me Taro, give me Tsubasa and Sonoe, and Deboski just having a straight up Iron Chef cook-off.
Write that down, write that down!
The real question is, just how do we start that crossover? So, what did you think about the various Don Bros content over the last year? Which would you say was your favorite? And how would you introduce the cast of Don Bros to the King Ogre crew? Anyway, that's it for me. The party never stops, so until next time, bye. Schoolgirl Senoni!